You know, this past Sabbath, I was in the pulpit, of course, walking around preaching. And of course, if you'd like to chime in, tune in to our live Shabbat services, you have it right here, online-church.org. It's every Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not a Christian. So don't come there thinking that you're going to get Christian preaching, Christian teaching, and Christian philosophy and Christian perspective. You're about ready to receive the shock of your life. It is uncut truth. Now, with that introduction there, let me go on for the nature of this video, the reason why I'm here. The trend that I've been watching, and boy, I know I run the risk of disparaging comments and name calling and mudslinging on this one. But I'm going to state a fact. I'm going to literally state facts. First of all, number one, ever since, or even before I left my father's house, I've always been a hard-working young man. Well, now I'm an old man, or let's say older man. And I still work hard, extremely hard. When I was a young boy, I went out and collect trash, empties people's trash for a few cents, couple of dollars here or there. I would do errands. I would do yard work until I was able to buy a lawnmower. I bought a lawnmower. I wheeled that thing for miles, running around the neighborhood. See if I could get me a few accounts to cut some grass for people. Got a few of them. Made a little bit of money doing that. When I got old enough to be able to work, 15, 16 years old, I started working. Anybody ever remember Mrs. Winters? There's a chicken place. I used to work there. Then I went to, I think it was Swenson's. That's an ice cream parlor. And I worked there. And of course, I had a few other jobs here and there, you know what I mean? And then I decided to go into the military, went into the military. When I went into the military, just regular Army wasn't good enough. I'm not saying that regular Army is not good. I'm just saying I needed challenges. You know what I mean? I grew up being somewhat of a challenging young man. I mean, I would play football in high school, and then I'd quit because I get bored. I get bored because I wanted to go out and work and make some money. And I did. I had a stint in the military about 10 years. Let me see. I went to a couple of special skills schools. As a matter of fact, I was a paratrooper pretty much 80% of the time until I went over to Germany, and I lived in Germany for 3 years. There I was in the 3rd Infantry Division in the Field Artillery Unit in Wertheim. But I was a paratrooper the majority of the time. I spent probably 5.5 years in the 82nd Airborne Division. When I came back to CONUS, back to the United States of America, I finished up at JRTC, the Joint Readiness Training Center. Of course, when I was in JRTC, I was in the forward unit. We was at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas, and that's out of the little small town of Fort Smith. And headquarters was based in Little Rock, Arkansas, and then we moved headquarters to Fort Polk, Louisiana, and that became the JRTC, or the Joint Readiness Training Center, Command Operations, pretty much base. But I was in Op 4 the whole entire time that I was actually at JRTC. Of course, I went to, of course, you can see it, U.S. Army Airborne School. There's my graduate certificate back in 85. And, of course, United States Army Air Assault as well. And then I would venture to say that training was very hard. I got out and had a few other jobs because I had a mission and stuff, made quite a bit of money. I worked at Airmark Uniforms. I actually worked in what else did I work in? I actually worked in Revco, which was a drugstore, as an assistant store manager for a while. I worked at UPS, loading and unloading, when I got out of the military. As a matter of fact, one time I had 3 jobs at one time for a period because I had a mission in mind, and that mission was to pay off my debt, save up some money, Federal Reserve notes, buy some land, and live like no other Americans live. And I've been out here pretty much 20 years, just about close to 20 years. But what I'm saying is I've worked. Since being here on the land, I've learned how to run heavy equipment, backhoe, track hoe, dozer. Makes no difference, dozer, loader, dozer or not. Different types of backhoes, excavators, bobcats, you named it. Know how to run it out here. Tractors, whatever. I've also learned how to be a block mason, henceforth, my home right here. Learn how to lay blocks. As a matter of fact, you ever have an opportunity to come straightway, you'll see a lot of block buildings here because yours truly pretty much laid every one of them. And then I also do a lot of foundation and concrete work. I built the tabernacle, myself and brethren. I've learned how, now I'm only talking about what I know how to do, okay, what I've learned over these years. I know how to frame, I learned how to frame homes. I'm still framing, I frame quite a few homes here. Know how to run electricity, some plumbing, I can build custom cabinets. I can go on and on and on. Anyway, I think that's enough, but I'm getting to a particular point right here. I'm getting to a particular point right here because the liberal mindset, from what I can ascertain from everything that I've actually looked at, is an actual movement to where they believe that government should actually take care of you. Not only do they believe that government should actually take care of you, all right? Oh, and let me say this too. I also have my race license, where I race cross rockets around tracks, different tracks. Done that a few times. Had a few crashes in that too. But anyway, liberals, they actually believe that government should take care of them. Henceforth, government subsidiaries, government hands out entitlements. And I never could understand that. Because in this country right here, now mind you, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Neither was my parents. My parents actually, when they got married, they lived in the projects for a while until they was able to move out of the major city and they purchased their own home. But they did that through work. They didn't do that because they were waiting for somebody to give them a handout. And it's just utterly amazing because my work ethic is still, at this late stage, still very strong. I mean, and I'm not making this video all about me. What I'm trying to do is I'm painting a picture here because I want to show you something. Let me just give you my average day, all right? And then I'll go into what I'm speaking about. I want to try to show you the difference because, see, if your mind doesn't work like this, all you're full of is emotion and excuses. And just like a sluggard and someone who is full of envy, despise the diligent at work ethic, the diligent in spirit, the diligent in mind, so does the rich despise the poor. I said all that to say, this. And when I wake up in the morning, and sometimes that's an average between 4 o'clock and 5:30, latest 6 o'clock every day. First thing I do is I get up and have morning devotion with the Most High. I start going over a few emails. I have so many, and there's no way I can answer them all. But I actually scan through the ones and I try to answer. And then I check out the YouTube page. And then I'm out the door. Probably about 6:30. Well, probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm out the door working. Or either I'm going to pick up building materials or something like that. While on the road, I'm answering text messages, emails, and that means when I get to a place where I'm actually going to be purchasing a lot of things. You can hear the phone going off right now. And let me put this thing on silent so it doesn't continue to keep interfering with the video here. And it goes off like it all day because I have a few communities that I've helped develop. I've purchased land and homes and actually put other people on those lands and in those homes. And they take care of it. It's theirs. They take care of it. and I'm instrumental in helping people build communities. You can go back in my archives and see all this taking place. I'm trying to show you something. That here I am. I'm just a few months away from 50 years old, and I don't let grass grow up under my feet. I eat breakfast and everything wherever, and then I work all day long. I come home from the work day in itself. I grab my little gym bag and I head up to the gym and I start working out. When I get back home, I have an opportunity to sit down, relax for a moment, and I start immediately going into answering letters, checking out my YouTube account. I have a Facebook account, but I only check it once, maybe twice in a week. Maybe this whole day long, I'm communicating with people all day long because we have fellowships in Ohio. We have home fellowships in New Jersey, New York, Maryland. We have them, two communities in Georgia, one in Kentucky, one here in Tennessee, another one that is developed. We got 2 places of home fellowship in Houston, Texas, and Dallas, Texas. We have a fellowship there with other pastors that in Chicago, in Arkansas, Kansas, home fellowships, and I can go on and on. I'm a very, 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 very busy man. Now, again, going back to my statement, liberals actually believe that the government should take care of them through entitlement programs, social programs, and if things are not working, the government is supposed to have all the answers. I'm not that way. Never have been that way. I just simply can't understand it because all my life I've been working. And I understood the concept a long, long time ago that truthfully, nobody's really going to give you something. If they did give you something, all they did was enable you to become worse of a woman, worse of a man, a bad example of a man, a bad example of a woman, and that attitude will follow you all the rest of your life. It really truly is. I'm almost 50 years old, and I can literally run circles around people who are 20 and 30 and 40 years old when it comes to working and getting things done. The reason being is because along through my knowledge and experience, which I always try to share, you've got to lead by example. You can't be a piss poor leader. You can't expect more out of others than you're capable of producing yourself and then expect people to actually want to follow you. Men, they do not follow titles. They follow strength. You can have all the titles in the world, but if you ain't got no strength and you cannot inspire others and motivate others to where they can be better, they're not going to follow you. Everybody ain't fools, but so the majority of the attack that I receive here on YouTube comes from base-minded, ignorant, lazy, sluggard, entitlement, liberal people, period, point blank. And there used to be a time that the Democratic Party used to be more conservative than the conservatives are today. Henceforth, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing right now. I'm telling you what I'm seeing right now. What I'm seeing right now is I'm watching a paradigm shift. I'm watching a paradigm shift where the blacks in this country have literally lost their mind and have become more racist than what white people ever could be. Now, going back to what I said earlier, have we had racism perpetuated against us? Yes, I have. Remember, they give me the designation of African American, let me know that I'm not part of this land, meaning they took me from a particular place on this earth, and that's my ancestors. And I understand exactly what's going on because I read the book. I know exactly what's going on. But you know what's disturbing to me, though? What's disturbing to me, though, is that, social media network has done contribute to the decline of intelligence. It really has. You should be able to use it as a tool to be able to advance not only yourself but others. You should be able to have bring about a very healthy environment, a very positive environment. But there's so many people negative, and you know the reason why they're that way? Because their lives is in the shambles because they simply will not change their mind. Some of you are just stubborn. Some of you are stubborn as hell. No matter what example you can see in front of you, it still ain't good enough. All you are is full of complaints. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter what others do, and no matter how much information is presented, it still is not going to move you from your lazy sluggard mindset. That's why I can't get with it. I just simply cannot understand it. I can't understand why someone today will want to be a Democrat, considering what has been done to the people, especially thinking that politicians are saviors. I can't understand lazy folks, and that's another thing that just eats me up. A lazy person, and then I get people that when I start talking about health, they want to tell me about health. Can you imagine that? They want to tell me about health. Not that I can't hear. I can hear what you have to say about health, but don't sit up and tell me about health when you can't even do a tenth or even a fifth or even 50% of what I'm able and capable to do at half a century years old. Am I making any sense? Am I making any sense? I have enough energy. I have enough stomach and will to see missions carried through. You better believe it. And not only that, I'm willing to contribute and teach. Everything I've ever learned, I'm willing to give it to you, but I cannot get past a stubborn mind. I really, truly can't. That's why you don't see me getting up here trying to tell you about how to go about doing underwater basket weaving, because I don't have a degree in that. And even if I had a degree, if I had experience, I don't have any experience, excuse me. And guess what? I would never talk about it. But it just doesn't make any sense to me for people to be lazy. I can't take it. I don't be you male or female. I simply can't take it. I know a lazy person. I know a lazy spirit when I see one. It's very easy to see and discern. And I try to always get those people far away from me. I do. Because I need to stay saved. And I have to actually clear the area. Because when I detect hypocrites, and don't think that I can't discern hypocrisy when I see it. Just because I don't say a lot of things about a lot of things don't mean I don't understand. But I'm telling you right now, we're in a bad condition in this country, and especially black people in this country, because we don't learn how to murmur, complain, and backbite. We've learned how to be sluggards in this country. Not me though. And I watch it because everything that they deal with in this life is abstract. Everything is abstract. Everybody bases everything, their decisions, their choices, the way that their perspective, the way that they see things off of emotion. If they feel it, they think that it's truth. I can't understand that, because emotions are like water in the sea. They're unstable. You don't know which way those things are going to swing from one minute to the next. And I think it is idiotic, chaotic, stupid, and crazy for someone to be full of emotion and then try to present that to you as gospel truth. Pay attention to a lot of people's arguments and disagreements. They all come from emotions, not facts. And most people today, they will side with people who is giving out nothing but pure emotion, and they don't care what the facts are. You're going to be destroyed. I promise you that. You're going to pay for hanging around ignorant people that try to base truth off of what they feel, because that's what they believe in their own book of the law. It's utterly amazing. No, I'm not going to be rude or controlled or dominated by my feelings or emotions, and definitely not yours. And that's where we at today. Everything has to do with how I feel. Your feelings don't mean nothing. Sorry, they don't. What means something is fact. And we may all be entitled to our own opinion, but we're definitely not entitled to our own truth. And you are the one who's going to have to learn how to discern when someone is trying to take advantage of you and trying to present to you a particular picture, and they're coming from what they're trying to present it as truth, But in truth, what they're doing is telling you how they feel about something. And then here's the age-old thing right here. People bringing forth false allegations and accusing others without having the other person present. That's bad. That's bad. And the reason why people do that, because people are running from truth because they are afraid of it. Because the gig will be up, you'll be able to see. Because, see, when you allow another person to be able to face their accusers, you're talking about justice and righteousness. And then you let the court of public opinion be able to hear both sides. Then guess what? You're going to find out who's been driven by feelings and emotions, and they are liars. They're just flat out liars. It's sad what we've come to in this country. It literally, truly is. And believe me, I'm a teacher and an educator. And I've been teaching and educating people for a long, long time on how to use self-autonomy and independent thinking. We all know and we all understand that we've been dumbed down to an unprecedented level in this country like never ever seen before. Matter of fact, we're dumb, dormant, docile, demoralized, and demonized in this country. And people today just simply don't believe in absolutes. Well, regardless of what they do, I've chosen to get as far away from human beings as I can by living way out in the country. I understand I'm in the world, but I'm not of this world. But I tell you what, you keep hanging around people who have a cancerous mindset and bipolar attitudes and minds and stuff, and they schizophrenic as I don't know what, that stuff will rub off on you. You better save yourself and preserve yourself. That's the reason why I don't put my eyes in front of everything. I really, truly don't. If I detect the video, I look at it and stuff, and I see it, and I can tell it's foolishness or something in this about stupidity, I cut it off and move on. I do. And I ain't got no time to be fooling around with all this stuff and putting trash into my spirit, because it does affect you whether you like it or not. That's the reason why the news media uses advertisement. Be careful what you allow into your eye gate and your ear gate. And no matter who it is in this life, you make sure you test, you prove, and you try every spirit. That means everyone, including yourself first. When you learn how to do it yourself and not give yourself a pass, you are able to clearly remove the mote out of somebody else's eye, and you're able to clearly to see not only them for who they are, because you are able to see yourself for who you are. Don't give yourself no passes. Be tough on yourself so that way you can be able to judge righteously. I'm disappointed at what I see. And when you get people that all they can do is result to a name calling and stuff, look at people's lives. Because whether you like it or not, your life is telling everyone the type of fruit that you have been producing. That's right. Let me give you a few words of wisdom. You don't take financial advice for someone who is in extraordinary amount of debt. You don't do that. You'll be stupid. Neither do you take health advice from someone who is fat as a pig or they're as skinny as a praying mantis. You don't take health advice from them, because you got two extremes and no balance. And neither one of them can tell you, because both of them, no matter what information they have, they all unhealthy. They ain't got no energy. They ain't no energy whatsoever at all. And they just simply don't have any longevity, and they're lethargic. Don't take advice from them, and don't take advice from fools. And on the religious front, Mark Twain said some time ago that the best cure for Christianity is reading the Bible. Have a good day.